So let's get started. Here's the plot summary for Destined 2, Christmas Once More. Theo still misses connecting with his girlfriend Kim as he tries to find the most romantic way to propose to her on Christmas. We open on a snowy scene and our leads close talking in front of a fireplace. Have you ever close talked with your wife that close in front of a fireplace?
Not that closely. I mean, this was literally like face to face. Are you sharing national secrets?
Yeah. The family is dishing out post-Thanksgiving leftovers as they plan on going Black Friday shopping just like this time 1 year prior. We get multiple smooches before the opening credits are even over. Okay, so clearly Theo and Kim, our leads, are still together, in love more than ever. The ladies go Black Friday shopping, and there's a scene of the same shopping area as last year, which I really enjoyed. A lot of that mirroring kind of like Easter eggs and winks and nods to the movie Destined at Christmas, which we also reviewed, so listen to it on the podcast. Okay, so I think this is also the same hot chocolate guy last year, too. When they met in line originally in the first movie, they were waiting to get into a store. They were bantering about hot chocolate. Was that the same guy? I think it was, yes?
I think so, absolutely. And I loved that same element. It just felt like we were right back at where we left off last time.
Mm-hmm. Love that. So they have full arms of bags and no Black Friday crowds, which seems a little sus, but I'll allow it. Theo and Kim have been coordinating their busy schedules, work, his child, holiday fun, and her sister-in-law, who I will deem as called Sassy Sister-in-Law, SSIL. She acts as though this is a novel idea to have like shared calendars. I personally love a shared calendar. It's necessary for running a home.
These days, especially with kids and the whole 9 yards, yes, shared calendar all the way.
Maybe she needs one. So Theo shops with his brother, Hunter, and is planning on going to a jewelry store when it opens at 9. No Black Friday hours for the jewelry store. He's going to pick up his engagement ring. Yay. And then the brother says, put a ring on that finger then. And I wrote, no. Not to the idea of putting a ring on it, but just to him saying that.
The brother also gives him a hard time because Theo initially says, I'm going to propose to her on Monday. And he just flatly says, who gets engaged on a Monday?
That was pretty funny. But the brother, I mean, he is just like a little jaded, and he kind of was a little snarky last year too. He wasn't my favorite of the characters, and now he's back, and he's still going to be himself, I guess, true to his character. Okay, so yes, plan one was to take her to her favorite restaurant on a Monday, like you said, and I wrote, is this jewelry store product placement? We get this giant logo of Sierra West Jewelers. I looked it up. It's a real place in Utah.
Who knew?
There you go.
This seems like a missed opportunity. I mean, Great American Family could have clearly done something with either K Jewelers or something like that, where this could have been a little bit of an influx of cash for them. But I mean, whatever.
Didn't want to. Wanted to support a small business. It's just like the Bachelor franchise uses Neil Lane. This is Great American Family's thing for Sierra West Jewelers, I guess. I want it to become canon in all of their movies. Although it doesn't roll off the tongue as well as Neil Lane, but we'll take it.
We'll have to tag the jeweler in our post on this to make sure we get exposure from them too.
Exactly. So I will tell you, I've wrapped Christmas lights around my microphone, which you can't really see, but it's causing me a kerfuffle. I'm tangled up in my cords.
Maybe rethink them.
And I'm going to have to rethink my interior illumination plan for the season. I was trying something new, and, here we are. Okay. So I don't know if you remember this last year. Well, I know you do, but you, the people, you, the listeners. Theo, who is played by Casey Elliott, his real-life daughter, plays his daughter in the movie, and she's precious. So she's very excited about the Sierra West diamond and wants her own ring for Christmas. And I wrote, haha, because I loved her. She was great last year, but she was even better this year. I mean, she was basically the third leading character. She had so much work to do in this movie.
I thought so, too. It really had to kind of play a lot of different kind of elements of her character. She killed it. Yeah.
Yeah. Really enjoyed seeing her again. So they go to Theo's mom's house to make chocolates, and she is going on a cruise with her walking group of friends. And she wants to have a special dinner with Kim's family on the 20th. And they were like, okay, yeah, I guess we can work that into our schedule. Kim is doing a big paleontology presentation that I don't really know that much about, but we get to see that. Then we cut to Theo's carpentry business receptionist is very judgy that he's leaving early. on a Monday at 3 when he had, or I guess at 3, yes, before finishing his business because he was going to go propose. His daughter tells him that he wears a tie. It will give away the proposal plan. And I wrote, she right, because he usually doesn't wear a tie. They get to the dinner at this fancy restaurant, Theo and Kim. His nervous energy is palpable. And then Kim announces that she got a grant that she'd been working towards, which is what the paleontology proposal deal was. So he grabs the ring out of his pocket, but she just is very excited about this. She gets to go to a new dig site. She's getting prepped to be the new dean, maybe. And he decides, you know what? I don't want to overshadow her moment, so he puts the ring back. Failed attempt numero uno.
Insistent theme throughout this movie.
Mm-hmm. I wondered how they would make this interesting, just based on that brief synopsis, because last year they were ships passing in the night. They met, if you didn't watch last year's movie, they met on Black Friday. Then there was they had all these, they went to dinner, they got to know each other. Then there was a power outage in one of the stores. They got separated. They never exchanged numbers. So most of the movie was spent them trying to remember what the other had said about what they like to do at the holidays and basically stalk each other to reconnect. But this year, I wondered if you already have each other's numbers, how you could add any mystery. And this is how we're doing it with failed proposal plans. Did you notice that they get out their advent calendar from last year? And this was majorly featured in the first movie. And I loved it. I loved that they brought it back.
I love that they brought it back. I hated that they're still using it the wrong way. The calendar still says days until Christmas. You don't count up, you count down.
I know, but yeah, it's maybe they're just leaning into it at this point. Maybe they're like, oh, you didn't like that? Now we're going to show you more incredible close-ups of this advent calendar and how we don't care because we're using it as a storytelling device to move the story forward and show you the progression of time.
Well, listen,
so you don't have to do math of 25 minus whatever date.
Well, listen, I know that they bought that countdown calendar at Michael's, Hobby Lobby, something. Just pry off that little placard that reads days until. I mean, it's just, come on.
I know, because advent calendars can go both ways. But this one, no. This one is not designed as such. So I knew you'd be irritated when I saw it, and it made me laugh. So sassy sis-in-law is funny. Is that all I wrote? Sassy sister-in-law is funny.
Mm-hmm. That's how
Theo's brother is such a buzzkill. Okay.
Well,
so a major...
Jennifer, don't be so mean. He is a sleep-deprived man. You know we're fragile when we're sleep-deprived.
I understand, but in case you didn't know, they are the only new parents in the world who have ever had a baby who doesn't sleep through the night. And they will tell you this is such 9,000 times in this movie. I mean, this baby, when they show her, is the most precious, angelic, like, 6-month-old. When really, I think she's supposed to be like 3 months old, probably. But I don't really know. But she looks older than she should be to be waking up around the clock throughout the night. Does she have colic, maybe? Are we worried about the baby?
Well, I don't think that I'm worried about the baby because you never hear the baby cry any time in this entire movie.
She seems like a really sweet kid. I don't know. I'm worried about what Hunter and Clarissa, I think, are the brother and sister-in-law, and they are just zombie mode the whole time. So we then see Ashley's phenomenal gingerbread house. That's Theo's daughter. And she made like a snow person out of some kind of, it looked like clay, but I mean, maybe fondant was the material used for a ski snow person. I was very impressed. That will change. Okay, so Theo and Ashley decide, you know what, we're going to do this thing Mom used to do. They're going to find a family in need and do the 12 days of Christmas tradition this year, where they take little gifties and do little porch drop-offs in secret to a family in need throughout the holidays. Love the idea. They decide to pick poor old sleep-deprived newborn parents, Theo and Clarissa, as the recipients. Very cute idea. Very thoughtful. Then at some point, how did this come? Kim and Theo were going to go to dinner the next night. But in the meantime, Kim saw Clarissa. Anyways, she somehow realized that they needed a break from this demon child baby who never sleeps and offered to babysit this baby overnight when she's got plenty of stuff on her plate. She didn't even tell Theo about it, which I thought was a little weird. Like, she's just all in, engrossed in this family, and she's like, you know what? I don't care about my boyfriend being the connection. I'll watch your baby overnight. And she does, and that's great. But then she passes out on the couch, and kind of sleeps through their meetup for dinner. Theo comes over and was like, oh, wake up. Okay, that's fine. You can go back to sleep. Proposal plan number 2 thwarted.
Womp womp.
Then we get back to Theo's cabinet shop because he runs a custom cabinetry place, and a big bad developer needs the cabinetry fast-tracked for a major development. Theo reluctantly agrees to the contract of 250 homes. The first home will be done in 1 month, and I wouldn't really know, but I do know that custom cabinetry can take easily 12 to 16 weeks for production from the time that shop drawings are reviewed and finalized. So I wrote rut-row. Theo says he'll just work weekends to make it up. I don't see this going well for my Theo man.
Well, and by proxy, it's not going to go well for his lady friend either. And so what we're getting out of the gate here pretty quickly is that both of them are very busy. It's a stressful time. He can't find the right time to propose. That's where we are.
Yes. We cut to the gingerbread competition. We get a gingerbread barn, an A-frame, etc. And then Theo kind of goes to put Ashley's entry into the gingerbread competition down on the table very carefully. And he kind of like shoulders it, like he kind of lays on the roof just a tad. It didn't really seem that big of a deal, but the roof sort of then falls down. And I felt so bad for him because Ashley's distraught. She worked so hard on it. And you just feel like, especially being a parent now, if I ruined my kid's project, I would feel about this big, this tall, which is, for podcast listeners, not very big. And they're like, okay, we can fix it. We still have till tomorrow. We'll take it home. We'll get some new icing on it. It'll be fine. And she's like, but we'll have time to dry. Yeah, it'll be fine. So God bless Kim. She goes with them, spends their night fixing this gingerbread house because Kim is present in this family, okay? She is doing the most in a very good way.
The literal most. She is clearly bought in, wants to be part of the family, has the relationships, is willing to be there. She comes off like a saint throughout this entire movie.
She's juggling many plates. And so after Ashley goes to bed, after the gingerbread fiasco, they're kind of cuddled up on the couch, Theo and Kim, and he's like, should I maybe, okay, I'm going to go over to the cabinet where the ring is. And he like sort of toys with proposing for attempt number 3. But Kim's tired because she's been saving their family nonstop from crisis mode. And she leaves to go home. He's like, okay, I'll just put that ring back in the cabinet. Number 3, done. Didn't happen. All right. This is an audio podcast, Josh. Anytime you want to make a noise, that'd be great. Just give a thumbs down.
I think that's
from being multimedia. We kind of forget what we're doing sometimes. But we're still professional. It's fine. Okay. Theo goes to talk to SSIL, and he asks if he should wait until things settle down, and she says, no, do it. She encourages him, go for it, propose. She's very excited, very on board for this. She's hilarious. I liked seeing more of her. I liked her in the first movie, loved seeing more of her in this movie. So Theo's shop has made 8 cabinets too short. Ugh, he's stretching himself too thin. He asks Hunter and Clarissa to pick up his daughter, and they turn him down. Seriously?
Yeah.
What are they doing over there? I know newborn life is hard. We know, we have been there. But come on, don't be so selfish. So then who does he have to ask? Kim. Old Kim. Once again, she goes and picks up Ashley, has a big old smile on her face while doing it. They talk about what to get her dad for Christmas, and Ashley made this like little picture frame, so Kim's going to help her try to put a picture in the frame too to give it to him. Very cute. Ashley says if she wins the gingerbread contest, she'll spend her winnings on a necklace or a ring. Then Kim was like, what would make you think of jewelry? And Ashley has this like, oh, because you know when you're around something, like it's all you can think about. And so it subconsciously slipped out. She's been looking at jewelry from Sierra Pacific, or what is it? Sierra West Jewelers.
Not sponsored by Sierra West Jewelers. No, it's so funny because what we're getting up to this point is Kim is also sort of getting a lot of chitter chatter from her friends and some of the family about like, is he going to propose soon? So like clearly this is in her mind too. So when she's like, or maybe a ring, it's sort of this record scratch moment where she's like, oh, is this actually going to happen? I thought that was cute.
Yes, and the little actress playing that moment off did a great job. It was super cute and funny. Okay, plan number 4. Here we go. Sassy sister-in-law offers to run interference at the museum. They all go to see Kim at the museum, and she's like, hey, just do it. You're overthinking it too much, Theo. Just go for it. I'll take my daughter, Mia. Don't know. Mia and Ashley, and I'll distract him, and you can propose at the museum where she works. This is great. And he's like, I don't know. And she said, well, let me at least see the ring. Well, Kim looks over and sees Sassy's sister-in-law and Theo talking and is like, what are they talking about? That's weird. And then they try to cover up their tracks about what they were talking about, and they're just burying themselves. The suspicions are through the roof for old Kim. She's on to it. Kind of.
Very much so.
Theo and Ashley go to deliver the first gift of the 12 gifts of Christmas to these worthless, brother and sister-in-law who were too good to pick her up from school. And I was like, these people don't have a doorbell camera, but it's still cute. They put the package on the front door and they ring the doorbell and kind of run away. Next day, Ashley's making cinnamon rolls, presumably handmade, homemade cinnamon rolls, a production. Mia comes over, who is Kim's niece. They're about the same age, Sassy sister-in-law's daughter. Okay, they come over and Ashley's like, oh, let me show you something. And she shows Mia the ring in the cabinet, but then she quickly closes the box with the ring in it, puts it back in the cabinet, and goes back to deal with her dough for the cinnamon rolls. Theo took a work call. He's not there. Mia, prying Mia, gets the ring out, puts it on her pinky finger, and just starts playing with it. And then she kneads the dough for the cinnamon rolls, and we get so many close-up shots. And I was actually cringing watching. I was like, oh God, no, not the dough. All the crevices of the diamonds. Oh my gosh. Oh, it was like an emerald cut. Ew, in the dough. And that's the last we hear about it. Next scene, we get Ashley and Theo dropping off the cinnamon rolls to the worthless brother and sister-in-law who are sleep deprived. He knows it's them because he knows it's his mom's recipe, but that's okay. The sister-in-law is like, hey, don't eat all the cinnamon rolls tonight. Save them. And I wrote, OMG, the ring is in the cinnamon rolls.
I wrote the same thing. I literally wrote, OMG, eeks.
Theo grabs the box, the ring box, and they decide, okay, for what is this proposal plan number 5? They're going to go see Santa for yet another attempt. And they got the creepy elf and Santa, they're in on it. There's going to be a sign that says, will you marry me? That I guess one of them is going to hold up. They go write letters to Santa. It's very cute. And Theo's nervous and he's like twitching and stuff. And Kim's like, what is wrong with my boyfriend? He's going to break up with me. This is getting weird. They go to see Santa and he realizes the ring is not in the box because Mia baked it in the cinnamon rolls. And then he's like, signing and miming to the creepy elf like, it's a no-go. And Santa's like, maybe you want a blender for Christmas, little girl. To which freaks out Kim. She's having not a very jolly holiday at this point.
Because everybody around her is suddenly acting super weird about everything. It's really funny.
Which is so true to life. I mean, I've been adjacent to a couple of proposals and I'm not, let me tell you right now, if you're planning on proposing this way, don't tell me because I mean, well, but I do say things that are weird. I don't directly give it away, but I have been known to like act weird and give stuff away subconsciously. All right, let's keep going here. Theo and Ashley return on this big search. They can't find the ring, so they're turning their house upside down. They go to the museum to see if it fell out when he was showing Sassy sister-in-law. Well, Kim walks up and was like, what are you doing? They're like, we lost a quarter. I mean, they're all bad liars. God love them. And I wrote, girl, if he that broke, you don't need him.
Which, by the way, he runs a construction company and he just got this hotshot deal for 250 homes. Money is not a problem for this guy.
Yeah, but maybe he hasn't been paid for it yet because he's building all the cabinets too short. So
Touche.
We got to respect a man with a budget, but he gives her a big old smooch to kind of give her confidence in their relationship, and she seems happy about that. They go to look at the gingerbread competition the night before the award is awarded, and old Ashley's roof has fallen in on itself. She is so sad. So what does Kim do, our queen? She offers to have a girls' night sleepover at her house to cheer her up. Queen Kim coming through once more. What did this family do before her? That's what I want to know.
Apparently fell apart at the seams. And so what we get is this really cute scene between these two girls where they talk about gingerbread. and not winning and being a good person. And it is very clear that Kim very much wants to be Ashley's stepmom and best friend.
Yes. Kim interrogates Ashley about why Theo's being a weirdo, and she says it's because he lost his favorite pair of socks. Which was a throwback. I'd forgotten last year in the movie, all he said he wanted from his daughter was a pair of socks for Christmas.
Oh, so I didn't even catch that.
That was a little, I know, I thought it was just a random line, but then when I was kind of halfway watching the first one when I was doing things around the house this morning and saw that. So there you go. All right. Kim's family goes to see A Christmas Carol as a live production like they do every year, which seems a bit of a bummer. I don't know. But we get slow motion sweeping shots of each couple at the play enjoying and being moved by the performance, and the ghost of Christmas Future being a scary guy on stage. And I thought, we're trying to fill time. Did we cut it a little short on this movie? Like, it seemed a little out of place.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just me.
I thought the same thing. I was like, let's read this on a little bit. I mean, we know that these couples all love each other. That's all they do is love each other. We don't need to see more of this. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay. So family Christmas dinner at Theo's mom's, and golly, they complain about this baby so much. This baby's the worst. And they debate on who can take Theo's mom to the airport. Well, Theo's, he's busy, and the brother and sister-in-law aren't going to do anything. So who's going to do it? Kim. Of course she is.
Yet again, Kim to the rescue.
And then Theo's mom makes some really awkward comments about, how they should be engaged and married soon. And Theo freaks out because he is going to do that soon, but Kim doesn't know that. And it's just not a great moment for them in their relationship. Leads her to fake smiles and questioning everything. Finally, sassy sister-in-law shows up at Theo's work, and she has had it. She says that a ring doesn't make a proposal. Asking her does. So just fix it. He goes to the brother-in-law's house, and they're eating cinnamon rolls and, say, I just don't know where the ring could be. And, of course, Theo bites into the ring. Crap. He rushes to Kim's house. He's like, I can't wait another minute. I'm just going to propose right now. And, of course, she had just left. She has headphones in at work and misses his call, so they still aren't connecting. Kim and her mom have a heart-to-heart about lackluster Theo and his lollygagging. So even at this point, Kim's mom is like, I don't know, girl. You're doing a lot for this family, and what's he getting you?
Fair question.
Not great. So at this point, we get a commercial for the Great American Family Experience, and Candace Cameron Bure declares that this is the most heartwarming holiday experience on television. Bold.
Stay tuned. If it was
Bold
heartwarming, maybe tell us about it before it's actually happening. I don't know.
Let us get excited about it. Let's build some anticipation.
Come on, CCB. You're not new to this world. Let's go.
Let's go. Okay. Back to the movie. It's December 24th, according to our advent calendar, and they're at the Santa send-off, which is the same event that they went to last year when they finally reconnected, and he smooched her in front of the family. Okay. He's got the ring. They're on the Santa train, and he's sitting with the girls, and Kim's stuck behind them by herself, and he was going to propose on the train, and he can't because he's stuck with his daughter and this Mia girl who ruined everything. And then I did write that this experience is the most heartwarming on television because I would enjoy a Santa train.
Agreed.
Maybe CCB was right. Okay, so finally, Theo pulls Kim aside away from the rest of their family. He just blurts it out and says, will you marry me? He forgot to kneel. Then he kneels and says more, and ha ha ha. The caption says, because I watch with the captions on, that Jill laughs. Who's Jill?
There ain't no Jill in this thing.
Ain't nobody. There's a lot of names, and they like to say their names throughout the movie. Okay, how often do you say, when you were not podcasting, Josh, how are you doing today? Josh, would you like some cinnamon rolls? They say the names a lot. Ain't no Jill, okay? They kiss, they're engaged, and then the captions told me that gentle, hopeful music plays. They smooch, and their family looks on. And that's the end of the movie. Ta-da!
Okay, it's time for our gold or coal segment, where we each get to give 3 gifts. If there is more gold in this one, we're going to call it 5 golden rings. If there's more coal, it really stings. I like your rhyming there. Good job. And if it's a tie, it's that time of year, we're just going to call it a meh. So, Jennifer, you're up first. Hit me with it.
I have to give a piece of gold. Let me tell you, I love this movie. Top to bottom. I was super, super skeptical about it because sequels can be a little sketch. We didn't know that much about it. but I thought they did a great job of making each proposal attempt have realistic hiccups. Like, it's still zany. The whole idea is zany, but like, oh, the ring is in the cinnamon rolls and like all that stuff. I was here for it. It kept me entertained and it moved the story along. I was not bored with it. So, gold.
Agreed. Gold for me out of the gate. The chemistry is like absolutely A+ between Theo and Kim. They are believable as a couple. I found myself cheering for them. I'm not afraid to admit I cried at the end when we finally got the moment. It was worth it. I thought the payoff at the end was A+ because it was all about,
Josh gives it 1 box of Kleenex.
1 box of Kleenex. Because it was all about connecting as a couple and not creating a perfect moment. And even the fact that he sort of flubbed his proposal, I thought was just like chef's kiss. Perfection, the way it ended.
Perfect.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. You stole one of mine. That was one of mine as well. My next gift will be another piece of gold. The cast, even the creepy brother-in-law, they did a great job building like the world, right? I mean, when they brought us back to some of the exact same scenes, the same houses, the same sets, the same connections, it made it really feel like when two families are coming together through a marriage, how you do have like, okay, and we're going to go to my mom's, but your parents can come too, like all that intertwining, really trying to build their life together, even with Kim doing everything. I mean, she is the central cog of this world, but I thought it was a great job done by all.
Agreed. More gold for me. Theo and Ashley, the dynamic between this dad and daughter, you can tell they've got a real life relationship and that she genuinely thinks the world of her dad. She was all bought into this character. I thought that was just such a highlight of this movie. So sweet to see them back together on the screen.
Mm-hmm. All right. I got to give a piece of coal, just like a small, tiny, minute diamond. It will be a diamond if you whatever it enough.
Rest it, yeah.
Thank you. So last year's movie, the first one, ends with a flash forward to 1 year later on Christmas morning. And it shows a fake out. And I don't know if you remember this. I had to go back and watch it. Kim is picking up the baby, but it's really, Hunter and Clarissa's baby. Okay, the baby's ages don't match. I can look past that. But we see Kim's ring 1 year later. So that checks out. I was like, that's great. But in last year's movie at the end, Theo also had a wedding ring on Christmas morning 1 year later. Blatantly, like drapes it around, like grabs Kim like this, pretend this is Kim on the YouTube video. Okay, right here. And you see twice his wedding band, blatant. So unless we are led to believe that it is canon for this couple that they get engaged at Santa's send-off and immediately go to a chapel to get married, and maybe they do, it's a call for why did we do that? I mean, I know why. They didn't expect the first movie to be so successful, and now we're kind of like backpedaling a little bit.
It's exactly what it is. No, but I didn't even notice that, so good on you for noticing that. Mm-hmm. My last gift is going to be gold for all, and I do mean a literal all of the Christmas feels. Like all of the traditions, all of the lights, all of the decorations, all of the moments. I thought it was just top to bottom, just an explosion of Christmas. Like they came out of the gate with a huge bang over there with this one, trying to get people in the Christmas spirit. And I was here for it. And I will even give it gold because I will look past that dumb Advent countdown calendar thing that they did all of it. So bottom line, we had fitting
strong
5 pieces of gold. So we were going to call it 5 golden rings. And I got to say, I'm with you. I thought as a sequel, it absolutely worked. There's a lot of scuttlebutt already on Instagram. I was seeing that we might get a Destined 3 that's all about wedding preparation. So
we should. And then Destined 4 could be the baby, and maybe this baby will actually sleep through the night.
And you know what?
Or it doesn't. And then Hunter and Clarissa can actually be good family and help out. Maybe.
And maybe they're going to try to do something that Hallmark's done, where they've kind of picked up on these relationships and characters that people really resonate with and build sort of series around them. I would be here for it with these two. I think they could sustain it. And I just thought these 2 actors were great. Final thoughts from you?
Yeah. I agree completely. If they keep making these movies, I'm going to keep watching them. I'll watch however many, even if they get really stinkery, because I do love the characters. They've built the foundation enough for these characters that I will watch whatever. So we couldn't have asked for a better movie, I think, to kick off this season of the new Christmas films. It, like you said, it got me in the Christmas spirit. And we had gingerbread, we had baking, we had all the things. But also, I like that a lot of their traditions were more attainable. Like, besides the Santa send-off, that's a big production. But, like, it is, okay, one night we're going to get in our jammies and sleep in front of the Christmas tree. Or we're going to write letters to Santa. And, like, it's not huge things like staying in a winter ice castle. It's more like every family has their traditions and their things that they do. And I really like that. So, very happy with this one. Very strong. Very happy. Highly recommend.
And that, friends, is another episode of Do You Watch What I Watch?
Special thanks as always to Nick Schwartz for our theme song and to you for listening.
Hey, if you like our podcast, be sure to review it, subscribe it, give it a 5-star review, and tell a friend. We're also on Facebook and Instagram, so be sure to connect with us on all of our social channels. You can find links to everything you want on our website at doyouwatchwhatiwatch.com. And next time, Jennifer, we have a very special episode in store for you. We decided it would be fun to celebrate our 2nd year of our podcast by testing out 4 of those Hallmark wines that you might have seen advertised out there. You will hear our thoughts, our pours, some of our gulps, plenty of laughs, our hot takes, and more. You certainly won't want to miss it. But until then,
may your days be merry and bright. We'll see you next time.